Hey, looks like I'm live. Yeah, just a quick live stream that I wanted to do. Basically an after gig hangout. I was trying to do this earlier today, but I guess today's been a super busy day with live streaming. Everyone seems to be going live today, so I don't want to make this go on too long, but I wanted to do an after gig hangout before Ben's show, which starts in about a half an hour. So, hey, there's Joe Hervey. Hey, Joe, how are you? I was gonna wait for a few people to pop in here. Just a quickie stream. I usually do these the day after a gig. Hey, Great Vanzini. Oh, Great Vanzini's here. I can start. And there's Laz. Guesses no one's coming. Oh, you were doing a stream too, Laz? Man, I was waiting for my opening, buddy. Sorry. It's like everyone was live today. It's like, okay, no, somebody, oh, okay, no. It's like every time I thought I'd had a window to do it. So this is the I didn't realize you were on, Laz. I apologize, man. Um yeah, sorry about that. Anyways, yeah, so usually do these after a gig. Just talk about the gig, talk about the gear and how the gig went and all that kind of good stuff. And I wasn't even 100% that I was gonna do it, but I thought, what the hell? Let me do it real quick because to do an after gig. Hey, there's Justin Cox. How are you? To do an after gig like 2 days after the gig doesn't really make any sense. So I generally try to do these the day after. All right, the comments are coming in. Okay, cool. I can see everybody. Usually do the Sunday and Thursday 5. Anyways, going to do a demo live. Oh, sorry, Laz. Sorry, man. I'm feeling really guilty. Sorry, buddy. I really try not to step on anyone's toes today. I swear I did. It's like, oh man. Um yeah, so anyway, so all right, let me get this done quick so Laz can maybe do his thing. So yeah, so yesterday we did a gig. It's our first gig that we did of the month, and the only gig that we did in February. Our next one now is March, which was we're in March now. So it was kind of interesting. It's a place that we played before. We've actually played there a bunch of times, but it's always interesting when you have new owners coming in and you know it changed the place a little bit, and the new owners wanted some entertainment, and got through the grapevine, and they found out about us, and the fact that we'd been there so many times before, and so they contacted us and whatever. So that was the first the first time there. So walking in, the place really well, but you don't know the place really well because they've done a bunch of upgrades to the place, and new paint on the walls, and some work on the place, and so on and so forth. But yeah, they had a house PA at this place, and normally we would have our own PA, but thank God we had it. Not, I'll tell that story in a minute. But they had a house PA, really, really extensive PA, like a really, really good system. And I'll get into that in a minute, Justin. And thanks everybody for being here. Let me do a shout out first off before you get going here. Joe Hervey's here. Hey, buddy. Great Vanzini. Nice to see you. There's Laz again. Sorry, Laz. Justin Cox is in here. Ryan Limber's in here. Mitch Heyman is in here. Hey, guys. Hope you're all having a great Sunday. And there's Meryl J. How's it going? Thanks everybody for popping in. So we were going to use the house PA, and it was weird as they had a band playing earlier in the afternoon. They were still loading out when we were loading in. So, and apparently they used the house PA. So we run all our stuff to the house PA. Hey Russ, how are you? and we were miking everything. This is a new thing now for us. We're miking drums and we're miking amps and all that kind of stuff. And so we run all our, you know, my cables and all that into the new PA. And the monitors on the stage, they're these nice big wedge monitors. They were all working great, but we couldn't get the mains to go. The mains wouldn't come on. So, you know, we're kind of dilly-dallying. We're looking at the mixer and we're looking at this rack unit with all this power amps and stuff, and we're trying to get that figured out. And anyway, long story short, you know, we couldn't, and then oh, the waitress knows how to work it. She comes over, she couldn't figure it out, you know, which is weird because literally the hours earlier they had another band using it, and then they said, oh, the guy who looks after it, he's just down the road. They called him, he comes over, you know, and we figured, okay, that's the cure. And he couldn't figure out how, you know, how to get the you know, the big speakers to work. So in a nutshell, we were kind of SOL with the new thing. So we're like, you know what, screw it. And keep in mind, this is now we're, you know, a good maybe 20 minutes before we're supposed to start. So you know, fortunately we had brought our own mixer and our own stuff, and we wheeled all that stuff in and just took all the cords off of the house PA, pop it in our PA. And it's just a matter of, you know, at this point, it's like, can you hear the kick coming through? Can you hear the bass coming through? Can you hear the, you know, the guitars coming through the PA speakers? You know, a half-assed kind of sound check thing, and it's 9 o'clock and it's showtime, right? Somebody hit the light off switch. I don't know what was hit, Justin, but it was, I don't know. Anyway, so we got all our stuff going and we just got, you know, and I don't know what the blend or the mix was. And I had to, you know, I had mic'd my amp, and I don't really, I mean, it's first time really doing that with these guys. And I, you know, here's the thing, when you got an SM57 jammed into the speaker of an amp, like, you got to give it a decent enough signal to be heard through the PA. So I had pretty loud stage volume, which was really, really cool. You know, so I had nice tone, because any amp that you use, it doesn't really start to open up until you're at least 2 or 3 volume wise, at least in my experience. Hey, James Severin, how are you? Yeah, it was pretty frustrating, Vanzini, you know, but anyways, so at the end of the day, it turned into us using our new mixer that we just bought, or, you know, in order to do this for the first time, kind of under the wire, under pressure, right? But we got it going, and then we did the show, and it was really, really cool because we had, you know, the bar, for whatever reason, didn't really promote the show. We promoted the show, you know, we have our Facebook and all of this, and we had a lot of people in the Facebook in the event saying that they were going, and when people say they're going, you never really know if they're going to go or they're not going to go. Turns out, not only did they come, but they brought friends. So we had a pretty good house. So it was a lot of fun. We had a really good house, and you know, we had a lot of friends there and stuff. We had some good support. Even, and then the you know, the other patrons that were there, like, you know, one true test is when you start doing your show, if people stay, right? If the people that are there, I mean, if they all get up and leave, you know that, you know, you're sucking pretty bad. But the people that were there, they stuck around for the duration, so they were there for the night. So that was cool. We held the crowd, in other words. And hey, Fender Guru, how are you? Nice to see you. Um, so yeah, they stuck around, and it was a good house. We had a pretty good house. Usually the first set anyway, you know, everyone's there, everyone's listening, people were coming up, you know, and the high fives and all that. They were digging what we were doing. We got some really good, you know, it was nice after every song. We had like people applauding, which was very, very cool, very encouraging. And I don't know, for me anyway, I was really having a blast, right? Because I hadn't gigged in a month, and I was really looking forward to it. I was pumped for it, right? And you know, you know, when you're pumped, when you haven't played in a long time and you're pumped, you know, I mean, it just, yeah, it's amazing. I've said this before, like, there's no better uh feeling than playing in front of an audience. And I was gear wise, I was using that Marshall back there, the Marshall the Marshall DSL 40, which is a phenomenal freaking amp. I had my pedal board. I got photos of all that stuff on my Instagram and my Facebook. I always take a photo of whatever I'm using that night, and the link should be below. So yeah, we hooked everything up, and like I said, my stage volume was great. I heard everything. I was playing Relic last night. If you know the channel, you know Relic. It's the latest the latest. It is the latest Les Paul that I bought, and it's absolutely freaking phenomenal. That thing is just balls and more balls. It's amazing. It sounds really good, and I was really digging into the guitar, really enjoying playing it. Second gig I did with that guitar. First gig too, also. It just smoked, and I was trying out a new pedal. So if you were watching the channel regularly, this past week I got another Lawrence Petros pedal. I bought the Javelina, which is my basically my lead boost, and I'm gonna do some when I get time. I'm gonna shoot some video of that and do like a full review of that pedal. That I think is a tube screamer killer pedal. It just absolutely smoked. Sounded fantastic. Let me just say hello to a few more people. Hey Jack, good seeing you, Jack. Like 20 minutes ago. Hey Hank Hill, how are you? Yeah, balls in caps, exactly. I'm ripping Snot's heart. No, James, Snots will get a go. Snots will get a go. I've got, once April and May hit, I'm going to be gigging basically every single weekend. So I'll be using them all. I'll be using them all. I look like a Gretsch player. Yeah, if you guys saw, I had a video called Bros and Guitars. My brother brought over his Gretsch and we played all my Les Pauls. So check that video out. And oh, I love the Gretsch, man. I thought the Gretsch was great. Yeah, Jack Prawns. Yeah, yeah. So but the tone was just fantastic, and that pedal, I'm going into my leads and that, and I'm hearing stuff, it's like, you're hearing something unfamiliar, but it's cool, and you're like, whoa. And just I don't know. I don't know if you guys are the same as me, but when what you're playing is coming out and the tone is like kind of, hey Jimmy Biter, how are you? And the tone kind of kicks you in the ass. It just fires you up even that much more. And you dig in more and you play harder and all that kind of good stuff. And it was good. It was great. It was great. So yeah, I had some really, really, really nice tones up there. And again, I was able to hear myself because I had the amp nice and loud. And the other thing too, if you guys are gigging, what really, really helps, get yourself an amp stand so that the amp doesn't sit flat. Because if the amp sits flat, the back of your legs are hearing your amp, but you're not. You want to put it on a tilt. So if you got a lean back stand, which I've been using now for the last 4 or 5 gigs, it makes a hell of a difference because it's throwing the sound up towards your ears. So yeah, I highly recommend amp stands. So no, it sounded great. I was just digging it. Because I missed it. You don't realize how much you miss gigging until you haven't done it in a few weeks. And it was a blast. I absolutely had a blast. And and then I had to, so the first set was great. And then the second set, we went up and we had a lot of people, and they were up and dancing and, applauding and all that. It was just a really, really fun night. Right. And, then the second set is when I do my lead vocal, which always freaks me out a little bit, but I could hear myself we didn't have any monitors, but I had one of the PA speakers behind me, so I could hear myself. And it's like, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I can't sing to save my life, but Hey, nobody ran out screaming. So that's it. After we finished the tune, nobody ran out screaming. So that's a plus. Nobody left, and I got and they always build me up before we do the song that I sing. They say, here's so and so, he's gonna sing one for you now, and this kind of stuff. And so I don't know if it's pity applause or what, but nobody ran screaming out of the building. So that was a plus. So and the tone was the tone I got on that was fantastic because that's I don't know if you guys are familiar with the song by the Cult, She Sells Sanctuary, but he's using all kinds of effects, and I'm just doing like a half-assed version of his tone, and I'm getting my chorus to act as a flange, and I've got delay and all this kind of stuff. And anyways, yeah, the tone I got on that I mean, that guitar, my God, fucking thing is awesome, man. I love that guitar. I love the sound of that guitar. It's all balls out, just oh, beautiful, beautiful Les Paul, man. So yeah, so we did the tune, and and then yeah, we played an hour. We played a lot last night. We did like a solid hour and about 20-25 minutes off, then another solid hour, then 20-25 minutes off, and then another solid hour. Like, I'm telling, it's a goddamn workout, man. And then by the end, I was running out of gas and I was starting to have brain farts. So I played the first two sets. I was pretty much solid, but then by the third one, I was just running out of steam, right? So I was kind of starting to look at the watch, like I hope we're gonna end soon because we're gonna blow all this momentum that we developed in the first two sets. So, but usually after midnight, I don't know wherever you guys are at, but here, usually after the second set, that's when people start going home because it's after midnight. And, but we still had a few people around for the last set and the close of the show, and it was a lot of fun. We got a bunch of people, a bunch of really good feedback. So that quickie PA setting up and sound check that we did, everyone said it sounded all right, and we got possibly 2 gigs out of that show. So, and one of them is like pretty high end. So if that comes through, that's going to be amazing. And there's a possibility of a really big gig in front of like a few thousand people. So I'm hoping that comes through because that would be very, very cool. I haven't played to like, a big crowd in years, not since the 90s. In the 90s, I played to, a couple thousand, but I haven't done it since then. So that would be super cool if all that comes through. But we'll wait and see, right? We'll wait and see. So yeah, so that was the gig. It was great. Best part about it though was the reaction from the crowd and the tone I was getting on the guitar, and it's just phenomenal. All right, a few more people popped in here. Let me just say hello. I'm not gonna go too long today because I know there's stuff coming up. Hank Hill, Jimmy Biter, welcome. Michael B, how are you? Oh, hey, Michael, you use stands too? Yeah, man, it really helps. The stands really help. There's Blackjack Guitar Nut. How are you? Marsman, hey, man. Hope you're doing well. There's Guitar Fish. How's it going? Cool, cool. Half Face, hey, man. There's Gary, Big G. Long time no see. How you doing? Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna go off here in about 15 minutes or so. So I just wanted to squeeze in a quick after gig hangout before actually, Six String Brian, I saw him in here. I thought I saw him. There he is. Hey, Six String Brian. He's going to be on with Ben in a few, so I don't want to step on their toes. Hey, Daniel Horsley, how are you? So, yeah, and that's it. Like we don't want to do a lot in the wintertime. It's not because we can't, because we do get offers in that, but we turn them down, right? Like, gigging in the wintertime in Canada is, I mean, you never know, right? Like, you can get a crazy ass snowstorm, and then you're dealing with that, and then you're trying to get your gear in and out, and it's you know, we do a few here and there. We did a couple, we did 2 or 3 in January, I think. We did New Year's Eve, and I think 1 or 2 more after that. We only did the one this month. We're only doing one in March because, in Canada, wintertime is April, is March, I should say, as well, and even into April, actually. So we try to keep that down to a minimum. Once the roads are clear and everything is good, then we're going full tilt, and we're pretty freaking solid for like April, May, June, all the summer months. We're pretty solid, right? So I'm looking forward to that, right? If anyone's got any questions, please throw them in the chat. Yeah, Jack the Rabbit. Yeah, man, you did really good on China Mike's show earlier. That was awesome, man. It's good seeing you there. Hey, Spencer Cron, how was the gig? I just talked about. In a nutshell, Spencer, the gig was great. The gig was a lot of fun. New PA. We used the new PA. We mic'd everything. Nobody ran screaming from the building, so it was good. It was good. It was good, man. It was good. Yeah. So the Javelina pedal is the pedal I got from Lawrence, and it's literally one knob, and it's a lead boost. So I was using it last night, and I'll tell you one thing too and here's sort of an aside. I've been talking a lot about getting the Line 6 Pod Go, and last night my tone was cool and everything, but I found that throughout the course of the night, I'm a tweaker, right? Like I'll start off with one sound that I think that works, and then I'll start adjusting things, like EQ and levels and stuff like that. And throughout the course of the night, and because I don't know, I find the sound, maybe my ears accustom themselves to other things, and then I find, I'm a little, one thing I talked, if you guys watched the show I did with Dave on Thursday, we talked a lot about gigging and stuff. And one thing I noticed too is like when I find myself kind of being submerged in the lower mids, and that, I found that last night I was doing a lot of taking bass away and adding treble and um, trying to cut, right? And so one thing with the Line Pod 6 Go, or Line 6 Pod, whatever, you know what I mean. One thing that I'm curious about is, I'm hoping, I know this is like, because once I program that, I can't really tweak it, at least not on the fly between songs like I do now. I can't just reach down and turn a couple of knobs. So one thing that I'm hoping is that I will, over time, and playing live and stuff, getting myself, setting up some patches. And one thing I'm kind of hoping is, you know, there will be there's no deviation from the settings. So I'm hoping that's a good thing. So when I go from situation to situation, because every bar, there's different acoustics, there's different things and this and that. And, I'm hoping that if I set it, and hopefully I can set it and forget it, and it's going to work for all the scenarios. Because right now what I find is from set to set, even from song to song, I'll play, you know what, I needed a little more high end, so I tweak the pedal for the next song and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that's not going to be the case with that, that it's going to limit my tweakability. But at the same time, maybe if I set it and forget it, maybe I can just focus more on just playing. Like I don't know. I don't know. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. That's why I want to get it. I'll buy it outright, and I'll just play it for a month, and then I'll make my decision from there. Okay, we got a few more people that came in here. Hey, Brad Miller. Let me just go up. Okay, I said hello to Spencer Cron. There's Tom Harhigh. How are you? Hey, Gary. Nice seeing you again, buddy. Dogpa's here. Brad Miller, actually guitar hack. That is the advantage of the Pod Go, is you can you can tweak easily. Okay. All right. I'm hoping so, Brad, that if all else fails, I can reach down and turn a couple knobs. Have I used an external EQ pedal? Yeah, Hank, yeah, use one on, yeah, you know what? The EQ thing, um, I've toyed around a lot with buying an EQ pedal for my board. I'm trying to have less pedals on my board, so I don't know. I don't know. But I can definitely see where the an EQ pedal would help. Definitely I can see that, especially if nothing else, to have an EQ to hit whenever I do a solo, just to have that mid hump and be able to cut. But I've never owned an EQ pedal, but I know a lot of guys that swear by them and use them. It's just, I haven't gone down that path, I haven't gone down that path yet. Yeah. Joe Hervey, how quick can you edit would be my yeah, that's my issue, yeah. Some of the new Zooms seem cool. The Zoom G1 looks more breakable with TI. Yeah, I kind of I went through the whole sort of gamut of what's available, and I think hey, Paul's Guitar and Music too, how are you? I think I think what'll suit me best is the Podgo. I think that's the best fit for what I do. Um yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. I mean, the Plethora, people have been talking to me about the Plethora, the new TC thing. The Plethora it's there's no drives on it. I want like one box with everything, and I want an expression pedal because there's a couple of songs that I play wah. I need a wah for. So Dogpa, I got 3 EQ pedals. Had one on since the 70s. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not denying the power of the EQ pedal. Again, it's just something that I don't know. I just haven't gone down that road yet. Gary uses an EQ for lead boost. I leave it flat and use the level slider to boost my leads, but the EQ is there if you need. Yeah, 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 Gary. That's probably what I would do. I would just hit it for leads. I would hit it for leads. One thing I find with the Javelina is, as you increase it, it does change the EQ of it a bit. It starts to get a little more mid to high mid focused. So yeah, I got, and then the Javelina, that's another thing that I got to play with a little more. I've only had it for a week. I took it to one rehearsal and I gigged with it last night. I want to spend a little more quality time with the Javelina before I do any demo videos on it. But they're gonna come. They're definitely gonna come. Podgo probably has an EQ built in, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Great Vanzini. As far as I know, there's a built-in EQ. Yeah, and so what you would do with that Vanzini is basically you would set a sound, and it has this thing called a snapshot. So on the same sound, you hit that pedal again, and it's like a superimposed sound on top of that. So what I would do is I would take that next sound and I would change the EQ slightly, maybe add some delay or and then add a little bit of a boost. So that would be like my rhythm, and then hit that, and that would be my lead tone. So Marsman, I'm refusing to fall any further down the gear rabbit hole, he tells himself daily. Good for you, man. Hopefully you'll stick with that and you won't fall down that hole. Hey, there's R2, R3. Hey, buddy. How's it going, man? I was thinking external EQ to shape the sound on the fly without having to get into the pod. Yeah. Oh, I see what you mean. An EQ in addition to the Podgo. Yeah, yeah. Well, I have I'm pretty sure one of the blocks that comes in the Podgo is an EQ. So yeah, I think I'll have that ability. Hey, Charlie S, how are you? All right, guys, we got about 5 minutes. If anyone's got any last minute, I just wanted to do this real quick. I was looking for an opportunity all day to do an after gig hangout. I like doing these things the day after a show, and I was just looking for a window, and this seemed to be the only window available, but apparently I did still step on Music Therapy Laz's toes, and I apologize for that. So check out Music Therapy Laz. He's going to be going live at some point today, I guess maybe after Ben's show, and he's going to be demoing his D&M drive, which I'm really looking forward to checking out too, because that's a pedal that I always wanted. It's just haven't gotten around to it. Next thing that would improve your board would be switcher. Yeah, you mentioned that before, BV Ninja, having like a gig rig thing. Yeah, yeah. Um, okay. Joe Hervey, what happened to Phil? Is he okay? I think Phil posted something on his Instagram. He's taking a break, something to that effect. I don't think there's nothing. I think he's coming back. It's just once in a while it's nice to unplug. Robert Baker was on live last night. He's going to unplug for a little bit, I may unplug at some point, I'll let you know, but yeah, it's good to take a break sometimes from doing the whole YouTube thing. So I think that's what he's doing. Yeah, I think he's fine, Joe Hervey. Yeah. Yeah, Jack the Rabbit just answered the same. He's taking a break. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody for popping into this very brief for me live stream. Thanks for checking it out. Yeah, I've got so check out my show Thursday. I'm almost afraid to announce my guest because I've been having guest issues lately, but fingers crossed, I'm going to have Josh from Sheptone coming on with me as a guest on Thursday. So fingers crossed that that all happens. He agreed to come on a couple of weeks ago. So it's going to be a total nerdy show about pickups. If anyone is interested in checking that out, that'll be Thursday at 8:00. So hope to catch you all there. Talk to Phil, doing good. Okay. Yeah, so okay, so Phil's playing around with stuff, so cool. Yeah, thanks, Hank Hill. Appreciate it. Oh, thanks everybody for popping in. Go check out Six String Brian. He's gonna be on with Ben in about 2 minutes. Hey Dale Palmer, how are you? Thanks for popping in, man. So I'm gonna bow out here. Thanks everybody for your support. You guys absolutely rock. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate you guys. And we will catch you all on Thursday at 8:00 on the regular Hack Show. Hey, Kubrick Lover 1972. All right, cheers, everybody. Take care.